So first I'm going to glue up the side assemblies, let those dry out, and then the long assemblies, the long stretchers, I'll glue up afterwards. Just a little information. I like to glue in my dominoes to one side first. That way I don't have to worry about putting them in as I'm gluing up. It's already kind of locked into this piece, and so now the whole piece goes into the side, kind of like if it was just a traditional tenon. So let's start out by gluing these in. I have everything labeled to make it easier. That way I won't make any mistakes like I've done in the past. So there it is. So I'm sure you noticed I had to disassemble the piece and put it back together, twisting it around, and the reason for that was when I initially cut the domino mortises right here, I cut 2 here and 2 in here, and it overlaps in here. The domino from this one goes into here and it shows up here. So what I ended up having to do is I had to shorten this domino so that it wouldn't interfere with this one, but I had put it on backwards, so I fixed it. And now we just wait for the glue to dry. So I have all my parts cut up. All the dominoes have been glued into the stretcher parts. I also have my sub-assembly, like the sides already assembled. So now I'm going to try to put all of these onto the side assemblies. It might be a little hectic, so I'm just going to video it and not talk through it, but let's get to assembling. Okay, so I've given it a couple hours to dry, and should be ready. I'm gonna put the top that I had in my old assembly table on here, and I'm gonna use that until I get tired of it or it needs to be replaced, and then I'll get a new top. So, top is still okay, so I'm gonna, basically that just gets screwed down to this, and then after that we'll put the casters on and we'll talk about the final preparations for this. Okay, so now that the top is done, I flipped it over. I'm going to put the casters in. I got these big honking things. Just pre-drill the holes and screw it in. One thing about these casters is the hole in the metal is really, really big. So I didn't have screws big enough, with heads big enough, so I gotta put a washer on them, which is fine, I guess. Well, there it is. So, just a couple of notes. I mean, obviously I still have to do like sanding the edges so that they're not sharp and stuff, but it's a shop project, so I'm not really going to finish or anything like that. But I know there's going to be a lot of questions on why I built this so robust and stuff. First off, I like the look of like big, thick, robust things. So that was one thing. I wanted big casters because I wanted to be able to roll it around in my shop, but it's going to be heavy once it's heavy now, but once I actually finish what I'm going to do in it, and if you watch my drawer box making video, which I'll link to in the description, I like to make modular boxes. And so essentially if I make a modular box and I set it down here, and then screw it on for, but it can always be removed. But that way, I don't have to make everything in one shot, right? So I don't have to build all the drawers and everything. I can build, let's say, like for the first thing I want to build is a box that'll house these, so I can pull them in and out, which is like sort of my small parts. And so there'll be a box in here with rails that these can slide in and out. And so I'll build that one, and then I can take some time and figure out what else I want to put in here, maybe some tool trays or some other things. So that's why I built it this way. And it's also made to work as an outfeed table / assembly table. So the height of it matches my table saw height. And I have to still, maybe, I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to or not, is route the rail slides for the miter sled on the table saw so that the slides go through. But other than that, this is pretty much done. I'm really happy with the way it came out. It is heavy, so if you're gonna build something like this, it'd be good to have some help, because I was doing it all by myself and it's heavy. Don't hurt yourself. Other than that, I mean, what else can I say about it? I think it turned out really nice. I like the look of it. I'm gonna sand it. I got a couple of ideas for aesthetics. I might put edge banding just on this thing, but since it's not permanent, I'm not sure if I want to spend the time. I like steel straps around the sides, the corners, you know, with bolts in it. So I might do something like that. So, you know, it might evolve, but the construction is done and I had a blast. I mean, I love doing this stuff, and it is much better than my old one, which was really rickety, and it was built with 2x4s, and while it was solid, it was hard to move around, and I just didn't build it properly, you know, to add stuff to it. It was just kind of useless because it was just a top. It didn't have the idea of the bottom, so that's a big plus. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share my videos if you like them.